Hello and welcome to the Celestial Garden Show. I'm your host, Shanice, and y'all, we are officially in the total solar eclipse energy. The total solar eclipse is happening on April the 8th, 2024. So that's this Monday, that's tomorrow as I'm recording this. And it's happening at 12:20 p.m. That's mountain time, so adjust to your time zone. But this eclipse is really healing. It has the potential to be extremely healing. And I want you to pay attention to the things that trigger you this week. And also, this week is a karmic week. It's a difficult week because we have this intense solar eclipse that's happening. And then on Wednesday, we have this Mars and Saturn conjunction in Pisces, which are two malefic planets. I don't want you to scare I don't want to scare you, or I don't want to fear monger you guys. But I just want to be realistic. This week, if you've been feeling this buildup, or if you've been feeling like you have some pent up energy, that's the total solar eclipse. So this week that is coming to a head. It's reaching its peak. And it has the potential to be a beautiful week because Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. So this is truly the new moon that is foreshadowing the rest of the year for us. And when we come up to this Mars and Saturn conjunction, this is asking us, what do we want to commit to starting? The projects, the things that we want to commit to. And also with it tends to be a aggressive planet. So when it meets up with Saturn, it's a reality check. It's like you need to chill out because you're a hothead. Mars tends to be a bit of a hothead. It's impulsive. It's the warrior in the zodiac, or the warrior in astrology. And so it's asking us to slow down and reflect and to get grounded in who we truly are and go after the passion projects that we feel passionate about. Okay. We have that going on. And then on the next day, Thursday, we have Mercury retrograde forming a cazimi, which is basically the heart of the sun. It's when Mercury and the sun come together and have a conversation and start a new cycle. So the sun is shining its rays on Mercury on Thursday with the cazimi retrograde. This is clarity, a moment of clarity. And it's almost like an aha moment. This is telling us what this Mercury retrograde theme is. Okay. So this is all happening this week. Let's get into the energy. I'm going to start off by giving y'all the tarot card that came out, or telling y'all about the tarot card that came out for the week. The tarot card is the Eight of Cups. Ironically, the Eight of Cups is represented by the water zodiac signs. So that's Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And what do we have this week? The Mars Saturn conjunction in Pisces. So the Eight of Cups is walking away from something that is emotionally draining to go after the things that is emotionally fulfilling. So this is walking away from things that no longer serve its purpose in our lives. That is literally like, it's emotional baggage, letting that go and moving on and starting a new journey. So when we have this Mars and Saturn conjunction and we talk about the Eight of Cups, what does that mean for you? Like, what emotional baggage are you letting go, or what do you need to let go and you don't want to? Because the emotional baggage, sometimes it can be hard to let go of things that are familiar to us. So the Eight of Cups came out today, and I want to talk about the number 8, like what it represents. Essentially, it represents overcoming obstacles, and it represents change, like the number 5. So let's get back. I'm gonna circle back to the Mars Saturn conjunction, and I want to talk about the last time that Mars and Saturn met up in the sky. So the last time that Mars and Saturn formed a conjunction was in April of 2022. And when Mars and Saturn meet up, It is asking us, like I said, to get committed to our passion projects, committed to things that we are here to do. And so we need to reflect, first of all, and we need to look at our Mars and Saturn placements in our natal chart, because this will tell you more about how that energy shows up in your life. So, for example, I am an Aries rising and Mars is in my sixth house in Virgo. And I find myself always wanting to help others. The sixth house is the house of service. So I always, always, always want to help others. I'm always trying to give to the detriment of myself. And it could be because my Mars is forming a conjunction with Venus, but in her fall, that's neither here nor there. But yes, Mars in Virgo, I'm very detail oriented as well. So I need to have all of the details together before I do anything. Okay, so and that's why it takes so long for me to do these horoscopes, because I want to make sure I have all of the details together, and I want to give you the information for the week so that you can be prepared. That is my Mars energy showing up literally. And then we have Saturn in my natal chart, which is in Aquarius, and it's in the 11th house and it's retrograde. So I find myself always having trouble and feeling alone in spaces that I want to be in community with, or I am in community with. I always find myself feeling awkward and alone. And that's something that I want to overcome. So with this Mars, let's go back to the transiting energy Wednesday. With the Mars and Saturn conjunction, for me, this is continuing being a service to other people, but learning how to care for myself and stop giving to the detriment of myself. And also with the Saturn conjunction, I want to be able to build community and not feel like an alien within my community. So those are the intentions that I would personally set, or I am personally setting, for the Mars Saturn conjunction in Pisces. So look to your natal chart to see where Mars and Saturn sits, what sign does it sit, and what aspects are is it making to the other planets? Like, what is it telling? What story is it telling? And how do you see it unfolding in your life? And then when this Mars and Saturn conjunction happens, you can intentionally set the intentions or intentionally manifest with this energy on Wednesday. So, and I also want to mention too, think back to April 2022. What did you start? What did you commit to? What projects did you start and commit to? Because Mars can start things, but it can't finish it. So I'll use myself for an example again. Mars conjunct Saturn in the 11th house last year for me, which was in Aquarius. So Mars formed a conjunction with Saturn in Aquarius, my 11th house. In 2022, I let go of a lot of friends that were a lot of one-sided relationships. That was one of the things that I intentionally set for that conjunction. And then another thing too is I committed myself to being an astrologer and a tarot reader and a get out the psychic closet. So I've committed to that. I've been doing that consistently. And this week, potentially, I'll see the rewards from that. But if you find yourself, having a tough week, reflect on the things that you want to start. Reflect on the things that you were supposed to start in 2022 that you did not start, because that might be why this week is difficult for you. Life is cyclical. And so that means it just goes in a constant cycle, and the cycle continues to repeat itself until we decide to break a pattern and start something new. So think back to 2022. If you are experiencing a difficult week, what did you commit to in 2022 that you fell off from? This will tell you about what you need to commit to in going forward, and stay committed until the next conjunction happens, which is next year again in Pisces. So this will be a check-in next year. So make sure you are committing yourself to things that you really feel connected to, because Pisces is an energy that wants to feel emotionally, spiritually connected to everything. It's a emotionally sensitive, intuitive sign. So think back and reflect. Journal. I love to journal, love talking about it. But the energy behind the Eight of Cups was the Ace of Wands. So this is passionate, fiery, creative energy, and it's starting something new. That's this new moon that's represented. Ironically, Ace of Wands is literally fire energy, represented by Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and we have the new moon or the total solar eclipse happening in Aries this week. And this is literally in the background of the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is the card that fell out for the week. And the card that's grounding the Eight of Cups is the Ace of Wands. So the total solar eclipse that is grounding this karmic energy that Saturn and Mars is bringing into our lives, in so many words. So this Ace of Wands that's grounding the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands is new beginnings, feeling passionate about it, feeling fiery, feeling productive, feeling courageous, standing tall in your power and starting something completely new. This is the potential of harnessing fresh new energy into our lives and manifesting our dreams, in so many words. So this eclipse is conjunct Chiron, which is the wounded healer. And it's going to be triggering, but it's ultimately helping you overcome those triggers so that you can really step into who you truly are and live authentically. Now, I said all of that. Let's get into the weekly forecast. So I'm going to break down each day and let y'all know kind of what to expect, the vibes to expect. So I guess I would call this a vibe check. And on Monday, okay, so no, let's rewind. Sunday. I'm uploading this today, Sunday, April 7th, 2024. So we had the moon forming a conjunction with Pisces while we were sleeping. So we probably woke up really, really in an emotionally sensitive state or dreamy. We probably had a intense dream too, some of us. But with this energy, tap into your creativity. That every time the moon forms a conjunction to Neptune and Pisces, which will be for another year and a half until Neptune moves into Aries. So when the moon forms a conjunction to Neptune and Pisces every month, and you feel yourself, having some emotions that you can't really explain, meditate, journal, try to tap into your spiritual creative side. Okay, so then we wake up, or some of us wake up early if you wake up early. Wake up in the dark moon phase. And the dark moon phase is basically preparing for the new moon. So we are feeling that energy all day today. We can feel something starting, a fresh start beginning. And we probably want to impulsively start something or act on something. But I like to say, make sure you analyze everything first. Can you tell I got a Virgo Mars? Can you tell I got a Virgo Mars? Make sure you analyze the details before impulsively acting on anything. Then we have the moon forming a sextile to Pluto. I don't know if I'm going to give y'all all of the aspects because y'all probably like, what is she saying? In so many words, on Sunday, we have an emotionally sensitive day. We might even feel a bit triggered, wanting to, act out, maybe react impulsively. My advice, don't. Tap into your creative side. Try not to give into those reactive impulses. Try to reflect. If you can, today is a good day to self-indulge. Is that what I want to say? Self-indulge, or basically splurge on yourself, treat yourself, pamper yourself. That's what I'm looking for. Today is a good day, Sunday, is a good day to pamper yourself and prepare for the week, because I know you can feel the intensity just building up. I know I'm not alone in this, like at all. So now on Monday, Monday is really active. We have the total solar eclipse conjunct Chiron, and then before that, the moon is going to talk to the north node, and the north node is fated energy. So that's basically the nodes are what's triggering the eclipses. So Monday is potentially a truly eye-opening day on what seeds, well, I don't want to say seeds we need to be planting, but what the universe want us to intentionally manifest, like what the universe wants us to go after, or your higher power. I don't want to just say the universe, but your higher power. So think back, think about like things that you feel called to, aligned to. Think about what you feel is your purpose and how you can get to that in so many words. That's what's going on Monday. And then we are going to be reflecting. So Monday is a very like, it's like we wake up to some news, or we wake up feeling some type of way. And throughout the day, we are just like going back in our heads and like, or maybe we're talking to somebody from our past, but we are essentially feeling something, seeing something huge, something that's potentially um, changing the trajectory of what we intentionally plan for our lives. I don't know. Monday is just really, really eye opening, and it's really going to show you how to show up for yourself. So pay attention on Monday. Tuesday, we have the moon entering its exaltation, which is Taurus. So, this is us trying to feel some sense of security, some sense of stability. We want to probably, be lazy, indulge in some things, Taurus energy. Taurus also likes to work on things diligently. It takes its time. When I think about Taurus, I think about the Knight of Pentacles in the tarot deck. It's very slow moving. So that's why people tend to think that Tauruses are lazy, but in actuality, they're just taking their time. They understand art sometimes, or create the creative process. Isn't always about just working, researching. Sometimes it's about relaxing and chilling. So when the moon enters Taurus, we might want to relax. We might want to chill. We're looking for things that are our comforts, things that we feel secure in. Um, because this week it's like trigger. Like the moon will talk to Pluto. Pluto is the planet that represents the dark, dirty little secrets that we don't want to tell anybody. So our emotions and the moon are conflicting each other on Tuesday, and we are really trying to find some sense of security, some stability, comfort. I keep saying it, but that is literally Tuesday. The moon will be void all day for the rest of the day. So like this all is happening early in the morning. So Monday, like I said, we're finding some things out that can be a little bit core shaking, or not a little bit. It might be really core shaking to us. And then on Tuesday, we wake up trying to find our comforts, trying to feel some sense of security, some sense of stability. My advice for Tuesday is to focus on things that make you feel like you're taking care of yourself. So, like self-care. Why did I say it like that? Make sure you're focusing on self-care, little things. Sometimes self-care can be if you have to go to work and you need to take a little bathroom break because you might want to smack somebody. That's a form of self-care. But it's basically a day where you want to just chill. You don't want to do or start anything new. Just focus on the things that you're already working on, like the projects that you're already working on, or focus on what the full, why do I keep saying full moon? Lunar, I keep saying lunar or full, but focus on what the total solar eclipse has shown you. So that's Tuesday. And then we go into Wednesday. with a little bit more of mixed energy. So like Tuesday, we're just reflecting, we're sitting back. Wednesday, we're like optimistic. It seems like we're optimistic on Wednesday. Wednesday is also the day that Mars and Saturn form a conjunction. So Wednesday, it's solidifying what we now need to do, what we now need to work on. It's solidifying those things for us, and it's like a reality check. It's literally offering us um the opportunity to emotionally connect to our projects. That's what Wednesday is given. And it's kind of like this mix of feeling like you aren't making enough progress, but at the same time, you're doing good. Like, it's being, just be real with yourself on Wednesday, okay? Like, just be honest with yourself. Don't try and sugarcoat anything. If you try to sugarcoat something, don't try to sugarcoat it. Just be real and honest with yourself, because that's the only way you're going to work through whatever it is that's coming to you, that's coming to the surface. So that is Wednesday. Let's get into Thursday. The moon moves into Gemini. I believe it moves into Gemini on, yeah, Thursday. It moves into Gemini on Thursday. My bad, y'all. I had a brain fart. But the moon moves into Gemini. And when the moon moves into Gemini, we get a little bit more curious. We want to communicate. We want to socialize. We want to research. Gemini is a very busy energy. And that's the moon. When the moon enters, that's our emotions. That's our inner worlds getting very busy. So we, in the morning, some of us, when we wake up early, we have the moon forming a sextile to Pisces. So this is that intuition, that hint, that little whisper from God, the little whisper from the universe is like, you can keep going. You got this. I know it's hard. That's when we wake up on Thursday. That's what we get. And then when we move throughout the day, when the moon moves into Gemini, we feel a little bit more loose. We feel a little bit more hopeful. We feel like we are able to overcome the challenges, the things that we want to transform in our lives, the things that we want to improve in our lives. And we have the Mercury Cazimi that is happening that the same day, that evening. So this is a period that will allow you to review, reflect, and rethink what this Mercury retrograde in Aries is trying to show you. This is a moment of clarity, and it's offering you the opportunity to reflect and change the course of how you intellectualize the Aries area of your life. So that's all happening on Thursday. And some advice I would give is to stay connected to your intuition. Stay grounded in your intuition and your creativity. Get creative on Thursday. If you find yourself feeling too busy, too agitated with that Gemini energy, and that's in the sun being exalted in Aries, that's a lot of like restless energy. If you find yourself having restless energy, get creative. Go outside for a walk. Call somebody, call somebody that you can depend on. Thursday is a good day to have conversations, so do so if you need to. And on Friday, we wake up to a bit of a challenge. Saturn is trying to chin check us, make sure we really serious about what it is we want in this, what it is this week is showing us. Are we really serious about it? So you might feel a bit of pressure to step up to your responsibility. You might even feel depressed. Sometimes the moon square Saturn is a bit of depression. So try to wake up. I almost dropped my phone. Try to wake up and meditate, journal, get all of the gunk out. That honestly, every morning that's how I wake up. I try to meditate and journal. I call it a brain dump. Um, and just get all of the gunk out, release whatever it is that's keeping you restless. because the moon will also form a square. I'm laughing because it's like, damn, we can't get a break. The moon will also form a square to Pisces. I mean, Mars in Pisces. So this again is that pent up, restless energy. And it's feeling impatient, feeling irritated. It's like, when is this going to happen? When is this? Like, that's what Friday is honestly giving. Stay grounded, okay? Stay grounded. You have everything you need. You don't have to feel, I know a lot of us tend to feel like we are missing out on something, or like we aren't doing enough. You are right where you are supposed to be. Okay? And if you want a little bit more clarity, shameless plug, get a reading if you need a little bit more clarity on where you feel like you need to be. Because honestly, astrology, so many people take these bits and pieces, like they'll see a video about a new moon and they're like, oh, well, I can use this new moon. And then they forget about the other new moons and other aspects that are happening in astrology. And to be honest, astrology is a practice. It's something that you have to study and see how it flows within your life, because it is studying that pattern within your life. So if you feel like you are lost and you don't feel connected to yourself, my advice would be to learn astrology. And if want to get your feet wet, book a reading. It doesn't have to be with me, but I would love it to be. I would love for it to be with me, but book a reading. So we have that going on Friday. Like it's a bit of a rough start, and we are feeling restless. We're feeling frustrated. Focus on what you can work on. Focus on what you can control. Avoid making impulsive decisions. Avoid reacting impulsively on Friday. You have the opportunity to learn and heal from your past. So if you see some things from your past coming up, try not to react how the past version of you would have reacted, especially if it was toxic. Make sure you are reflecting before you react, okay? And finally, Saturday. On Saturday, we have the moon forming a square to Neptune, talking to the sun, and then it's going to move into Cancer and go void. So we are dealing with a lot of void energy this week too, which I'm not really mad at. I love to be able to just sit and reflect and like not feel like there's something building up. That's what I feel or that's what I think of when I think of void moons. But Friday, or not Friday, Saturday, we wake up and it's like, thank God it's Saturday. We wake up with a burst of energy and we feel like we are finally getting into the rhythm of where we're supposed to be, where we are going. We are exiting out of eclipse season. So honestly, that's what Saturday is looking like. We are exiting out of eclipse season. We are still in Mercury retrograde though, but we are exiting out of this intense buildup of energy because we finally know where we are going. We don't have to, you know, think about it, be confused. We have clarity after this week, okay? So I'm gonna get into like the predictions for the week. And personally, I keep talking about this Diddy case, but that's because um I actually looked at me and his synastry. We have like planets that conjunct each other, especially his Neptune conjunct my moon. So that dark scorpionic energy or Scorpio energy, yeah, I can see that in a Diddy. But anyway, so I want to talk about last week's prediction. When Venus formed a conjunction to Neptune, I said that a woman would potentially come out talking about Kim Porter and Diddy's relation to the death of Kim Porter. I thought it would have been like, I don't know, Dana Tran, which is Love's Diddy's youngest daughter's mother. Because I personally believe, and I actually just looked at her birth chart today. I don't know her birth time, but I looked at her birth chart and I looked at some of the planets. I personally believe, and this is alleged, okay, like I don't want nobody to be like, I don't want to get in trouble. But I personally believe that she has something to do with this, okay? Like she's connected to the darker side of Diddy, Love's mother. I don't trust her personally. Don't trust her. But I also, okay, so back to the prediction. I also said that Cassie, something would come out about Cassie. Something did come out about Cassie. Cassie is working with the feds. I believe I did say that last week on the podcast. So this week, let's talk about the Diddy situation because that's very prominent this month. I personally think that he's either going to be indicted this week or we are going to find some things out about the raid. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good. We're probably going to find out about more famous people, like huge people that are connected to him, like A-listers that are connected to this week. Okay. So I'm calling out Jay-Z, Beyonce. Who else? Ashton Kutcher. It was a few other people that I was thinking about or that popped up when I was thinking about what might happen this week. This week is huge for Hollywood. I'm going to just say that. I'm going to be real honest, put that into the ethers because I got a feeling that a lot of things are going to come out about Hollywood this week. And it's going to like catapult the demise, the not the is it the demise, is that the word I'm looking for, the downfall of Hollywood. People think that Hollywood is falling down now, but after this week, yeah, we really gonna see it. Those are my predictions for that, like the Diddy situation. And to be honest, I have not really kept up with what's been going on globally this week, or actually much of March. March was a pretty hazy month for me, because I've been trying to get consistent, or I have been getting consistent with posting the podcast and articles like horoscopes and stuff like that. So I have not really been focusing on things globally, but I do plan on looking at things globally and making predictions about what we see in the news from a global standpoint. But this is the end of the episode. I really hope that this week is smooth. And I've been talking about it being a little rough, I know, but I hope I'm wrong. Like I really do. I hope I'm wrong about it because last week was difficult. Like it was crazy. And this week is the total solar eclipse week and Mars conjunct Saturn. So yeah, I think last week was just a prequel to this week. So you guys, good luck. Good luck this week. I'm sending you so much love. And I hope that the Mars Saturn conjunction, the eclipse for you is absolutely beautiful. Like, I don't wish anything challenging or bad, but I know life is gonna life. But until next time, you guys, peace.